Everyone, today I'm going to be changing the oil on my brother's 2001 Honda Civic, so let's get her going. The drain bolt, I'm going to need a ratchet and a 17mm socket. Drain bolt's done. Now, oil funnels, so we can put oil in there. Unscrew the oil filter. We're going to use one of these. Unless, of course, you have the grip strength of a god. I suggest using one of these. For power! Y'all are ready for this form. Reps. All day. Every day. I should actually be looking at this. Ignore me. There we go. Add another one just in case this one decided to fail. Can never be too safe with a 800-pound car landing on you. Now, for the dirty part. Get all the jewelries off, anything you have. Oil will get everywhere. Honestly, no hats either. And just for safety, I'm gonna put on some nitrile gloves because oil on hand is just, it's gross. It feels nasty. Don't screw this. The hat stays on no matter what. I almost forgot. Oil pen. Definitely need that. See you in a bit, homie. Okay, this took me a lot longer than I'd like to admit. I actually ended up switching to a 17mm wrench instead. It just got the job done a lot quicker. I bolted this on and kicked it because this thing was literally like melted on shut to this, so I it was really tight, so I had to take it off. We don't have any mechanical tools here. So anyways, now we're going to be pushing this counterclockwise, and as you're doing this, you're going to want to put pressure as to not let the oil spill out like crazy. And once this happens, it's gonna it's gonna go everywhere like so. Anyways, oil pan. Wow, that's like a direct hit. Now we just wait for it to drip out and like slow drip. Got a little on my finger, unfortunately. My fingertip got lost in battle. Have to wait for this to pour out, and once it starts slow dripping, we can eventually put this back on. And we're gonna have to take out that oil filter right there as well. So fun. On and not put it locked tight. Obviously we want it tight, but not super tight to the point where I can't use this again. Anyways, I'm going to use my wrench to do that, and yeah, oil drum is all filled up, and look how black and brown that nasty oil is. That's how you know you needed a change. Think about it, this is probably where the ratchet would come in handy, but I'm lazy, and I'm already under the cart. Alright, she's on there tight. Now I gotta get that guy up there, the orange one. I'm gonna be honest with you, I use this. I do not have the little tool because I do not have Gorilla Grip strength. Now what we're gonna do is unscrew this, apply pressure. You can see it's gonna start boiling into the oil drum. And as to not get it on my arms, we're going to lift up like so. And dump it all out. Replace my gloves and wash them. Here's a little trick to do for a filter gasket. See, since this oil filter sits on the side of the car, any oil that you pour in afterwards is going to spill out on the side. So what you want to do is kind of dip your finger in the oil and smear it over the filter gasket to ensure that no oil spills out, or at least helps not spill it out on the initial, pouring of the new oil. And there you go. A little thing like that will help a lot. And on she goes. There goes the oil filter. Gotta make sure this is nice and tight. And there you go. New oil filter, and now add some new oil. Now that we've got the engine open, if it says engine oil, you're in the right place. It's going to be right next to your little engine oil checking rod, and I'll explain more about this later. Oil funnel sits pretty right there. At about 3.5 quarts of oil. Be very careful, don't spill any oil on the engine. Do it slowly, don't do it too fast, or you could risk it's spilling all over the engine, which you do not want. Quick side note, there is a little unit of measurement system, and for about 3.5 it's going to be in the middle of this area. What you're going to want to do is take off your oil funnel and put back your engine oil cap. And now you're going to want to check your oil checking rod, like I said before, and see if it's on the 2 mark. Obviously, it checks both dots, so it is full. But now we have to start the car to account for oil pressure. Start the car to account for oil pressure. And once that little oil light turns off, to have a counter for oil pressure, you're going to want to check your oil rod once more. And usually, I filled some of my oil, so it's fine now. But it usually goes down by 1/2 quart, which allows it to be right under this second marker. And you're going to want to add a little bit more oil if that is the case. But since it's not the case for me, we just put that in and that's an oil change done. Now, the fun part. Oh my god, I just killed a mosquito live on camera.